Alright lads, CFC Vlog here, and welcome to yet another episode of the Weekend Roundup, take 3. Because, I've had a couple of cock-ups. On Wednesday, I, made the video, but I forgot to turn my mic on, so that messed up a bit, and I was going out that night, so I didn't have time to make another one. And yesterday I was out from, like, when I got into school, right up until when went out again, and, like, oh, 9, half 9, 10, so I didn't really have time to do it then. But today I've got a day off school, and so therefore I'm going for a double upload. I'm going to upload the weekend roundup, and then I'm going to upload the weekend preview back to back. And that should be cool. But first we have the weekend roundup. And I've got all my predictions and the final scores, so we'll get straight into it. The first game was Newcastle versus Liverpool. I predicted a 3-2 win for Liverpool. It actually ended up being 2-2. Even though Newcastle actually ended up going a man down. It started off with Newcastle going 1-0 up from a fantastic goal from Kabay before uh I can't quite remember who got sent off, to be honest with you guys. But um, they did have one of their centre backs sent off. And it was a fair enough if it was last man, which ended up being a penalty, which Steven Gerrard put away to make it 1-1. Then the replacement, well, not so much replacement, but the person who came on to kind of fit out the defence was Paul Dummett, because obviously they didn't want to go free. You don't want three defenders against a team with the attacking prowess of Liverpool, so they brought on the young centre back Paul Dummett. But Paul Dummett had an unexpected surprise, unexpected impact. He actually ended up scoring, which was actually quite a nice finish. Then, quite nice movement to get behind, to get around the back of the defence, and a nice movement, and a nice finish to actually get in the back of the net in the end from a good delivery as well from, I think it was Johan Gabay. And then we had Daniel Sturridge got the equaliser after Luis Suarez put the ball across the face of goal. It was almost impossible for Sturridge to miss at that point. So Newcastle, it was an impressive performance because they went down to 10 men. Liverpool probably be slightly disappointed that they didn't get the win in the end. They probably felt they should have got the win, obviously, because they did have the one man advantage. Just need a drink quickly. That's better. So yeah, so that's very unfortunate for Liverpool, but also you could say it's unfortunate for Newcastle because without that man down, who knows what could have happened? Maybe they could have gone on to win the game themselves. So a very interesting game there. Next game is Arsenal versus Norwich, and what a performance from Arsenal! I mean, an absolutely fantastic performance. I predicted a good game with lots of goals for Arsenal, but I didn't predict exactly right. I predicted a 3-1 win for Arsenal. It was actually 4-1. Ozil getting 2 goals himself. Ramsey and Wilshere getting the other 2. The first goal, Wilshere's goal, was an absolute stunning move from Arsenal, and it was definitely one of the goals of the season, and it was probably the best team. It's one of the best team goals I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, it was a beautiful flowing move. Then Ozil got himself. I don't particularly remember Ozil's first, because I don't think it was that special. As far as I could remember, it was just that he was through on goal and he finished it nicely. But I don't particularly remember that goal. Then you had the Ramsey's goal. I believe Ramsey's goal was next, where he just ran past, like, he passed everyone, he cut it back, he did this, did that, and he eventually finished it. Another really nice goal from an informed Ramsey. Ramsey had another fantastic game. He went on a Zidane like run down the wing at one point as well. It's just spectacular. Then the fourth goal, Ozil's second goal, was a good ball over the top. I can't remember who crossed it in, but Ramsey knocked it down. Beautiful touchdown for Ozil to finish it into the bottom corner. So, and that was another very impressive win for Arsenal. I do think that I can't exactly remember where the Norwich goal came. I think it was when Charlton Arsenal were 3-0 up, so they brought it back to 3-1 at one point. But don't quote me on that. The next game, another 4-1 game, was Chelsea versus Cardiff. I predicted 2-0. It was actually 4-1. A bit of controversy surrounding no, not the equaliser. I think the equaliser was Oscar's goal. Oscar's really nice goal. And the one that got pulled ahead, where generally Cardiff's the Cardiff goalkeeper, yeah, he caught the ball. He came out and he bounced. He went to bounce the ball, and Eto'o kicked it out of his hands, and Eto'o eventually went on to score. Jesus Christ. But no, and I thought at first that when you bounce the ball, it's fine. If you don't have the ball with both hands, then you don't have the control of the ball by the rules of the FA. But the rules of the FA, if you're bouncing it, you've still got control of the ball. If you drop it, then that's when control is lost. But and that's I imagine what the linesman and referee. Well, the referee, they actually showed on match day. The referee wasn't looking. The referee was looking in the other direction when it happened. But the linesman must have obviously thought that he dropped the ball. That's the only thing that I can. That's the only way I can excuse him. He must have thought that he dropped the ball. But it's pretty clear on replay, so you can see that he was in fact bouncing the ball. I thought it was pretty clear at first that he was bouncing the ball, but we have we have replays and they don't, so that's unfortunate. And then, oh my god, just completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, I don't. But would it have made that much of a difference? It could have. Obviously, it was the goal that pulled them in front, but it's hard to say because they did end up going and win 4-1, which is a bit of a smash in. So it's hard to say whether that goal would have made a difference or not. It's really hard to normally, because in my video I'm like moving it all around the place, leaning backwards, but I need to try and stay close to the mic. So yeah, so it finished 4-1 to Chelsea. Next game was Everton versus Hull, and this was an exact prediction, lads. I predicted a 2-1 win for Everton. It was a 2-1 win for Everton. As far as I know, there's not much to say about that. Expected win for Everton. And, and they continue to be in fairly good form. Next game was Southampton versus Man United, and Man United continue to just plummet, since Sir Alex left, with a 1-1 draw. I mean, I was predicting them to get 3 points back after the international break, but no, obviously, but 1-1 draw with Southampton. No disrespect to Southampton, they're a really good team, but a team of Man United stature really shouldn't be drawing with a team of Southampton stature. So, now moving on to the next game, we have another exact prediction. I predicted 0-0 between Stoke and West Brom, and it was 0-0 between Stoke and West Brom. Obviously, because it was 0-0, not much to say about that match. The next game was Swansea versus Sunderland. I was expecting Gus Poyet to have a bit of an impact to make it so it's not embarrassing, so I predicted 1-0 for Swansea. But it was embarrassing. It was 4-0 to Swansea. Again, not much to say about that. Obviously Gus Poyet hasn't made that much of a difference, even though he hasn't had that much time. I think he only had a few days by the point of that match, so it's hard to judge. But normally when a new manager comes in, they get a good start, but not in this case. Hopefully, maybe that means that maybe that means that he'll crack on later on and actually keep them up. But it'll be a very, very hard task for Gus Poyet to do so, especially in his first management job in the Premier League, I believe. As far as I can remember, it's his first management job in the Premier League. If not, then tell me in the comments below. Next game is where was I? Next game was West Ham versus Man City. Man City walking out 3-1 winners of that game. It was a very impressive performance from Man City. They played really well. Fernandinho, Yaya Toure, David Silva, Aguero, all playing very well, and it looked a very strong performance. West Ham didn't play badly. They just couldn't deal with the with the real attacking quality that Man City brought. Obviously, Aguero getting 2 goals and an assist in that game, and continuing his amazing form. He also scored against CSK Moscow. I think he scored twice against CSK Moscow on Wednesday night. So he's in some great form. And when Aguero's in form, Man City can do almost everything. Anything. Obviously, he was in form when they won the title. Obviously, scoring that famous last-minute goal. Next game was Aston Villa versus Spurs. Spurs, I was predicting a 2-2 draw. Spurs ran out 2-0 winners in the end. A good, comfortable win for Spurs. Not much really to say about that game. But Spurs finally put in their kind of the money that they earned to good use. Next game was Crystal Palace versus Fulham. And, Crystal Palace, you could say, was slightly unlucky, except probably didn't deserve to win the game in the end. They went 1-0 up, but 2 fantastic goals. One goal from Kazami, which was, it's competition for goal of the month, or even goal of the season, with Jack Wilshere's goal. And then another fantastic hit from Steve Sidwell put Fulham 2-1 up just before half-time. And then Fulham just went out and absolutely dominated the second half. Palace didn't stand a chance. So it's slightly unlucky, but again, you're just lacking that quality that you need to have in the Premier League. And since then, Ian Holloway has left Blackpool. As far as I know, of his own accord, I'm pretty sure he's resigned. I don't think he was sacked, but obviously a lot of people in for the job. I think Tony Pulis is the favourite for the job currently, which is probably quite a good acquisition considering he's kind of power of keeping people in the Premier League. He did it with Stoke like 4 or 5 years in a row, so it wouldn't be a bad acquisition unless Palace want to continue playing semi-nice football today. It's just whether they want to play nice football or effective football. And I think at this point you need to just be playing the effective football, because if it's going to keep you in the Premier League, and then you can start working on getting nice football, stringing good moves together. But at the moment, Tony Pulis probably would be the best man for the job. And the next game, the Charlton game, was Blackburn versus Charlton. I was very negative. I predicted a 2-1 loss for Charlton. It actually ended up being a 1-0 win. And that's a really good result. A really nice goal from Simon Church. Good ball over the top from Dale Stephens, who had another good game apparently. And a beautiful finish from Simon Church. And that's a really good 3 points for Charlton away from home. It's the first away victory, only our second away victory only our second victory overall of the season. And hopefully we can capitalise against a Wigan side. They'll probably be fairly tired after playing last night in the Europa League. So that's the end of the video, guys. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Cheers.